All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about the final words of, well, a true legend, Miyamoto Musashi, the undefeated samurai. And get this, in the very last week of his life, he sat down and wrote out his entire philosophy, 21 principles for a life of purpose. He called it the Dokkodo, which translates to the way of walking alone. Just to give you an idea of how intense this gets, look at this. Principle 20. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor. Wow. I mean, that's not some simple life hack you'd find on a blog, right? This is a serious, unbending code. He's saying your honor, your integrity is more important than your own life. That really sets the tone for what we're about to unpack. So what is this Dokkōdō exactly? Well, the name itself, the way of walking alone, says a lot. And you have to remember, this wasn't written when he was a young, invincible warrior. This was his final act, a reflection on a whole life of unbelievable discipline. So, no, this isn't just about how to win a sword fight. It's a guide to finding freedom inside yourself. Okay, Section 1, Mastering Your Inner World. You know, Musashi's entire philosophy, it starts right here, inside. The idea is simple. Before you can face anything out there, you've got to get a handle on what's going on in your own head. That's the bedrock for everything else.
Okay, look at this contrast. Think lightly of yourself, but think deeply of the world. Now, that first part, it isn't about beating yourself up, not at all. It's about humility. It's about stepping back from your own ego so you can actually see the world for what it is, vast, complex, and full of lessons. That humility, he's saying, that's the real key to gaining wisdom.
Do not regret what you have done. I mean, how direct is that? Musashi saw regret as this heavy anchor, just holding you in the past. It's like a poison for your spirit. For him, the past is simple. It's a lesson. It's not a prison. You learn what you need to, and then you let it go. You move on.
And here we have his very first rule, the foundation of this whole thing. Accept everything just the way it is. Think about that. Real strength, according to Musashi, isn't about fighting against reality. It's about accepting it. Life is going to throw what it's going to throw at you. Good, bad, all of it. He's saying that peace, that harmony, it only comes when you stop resisting and just accept. And this builds right on that idea of acceptance. He tells us to release resentment and jealousy. Why? Because they're basically poisons you drink yourself. They don't really hurt the other person, do they? They just cloud your vision and get in your way. If clarity is what you're after, then things like resentment and jealousy, well, they're just fog. So now we move into Section 2, Freedom from External Things. Okay, so once you start getting your inner world in order, the next logical step is to deal with the outer world. And for Musashi, that meant freeing yourself from all the stuff, the desires, the possessions that tie us down. Yeah, you can really see the pattern here, can't you? He's telling us to let go of the taste of good food, having a bunch of stuff you don't need, even the feeling of lust. What do they all have in common? They're all distractions. They come from outside of you. Letting them go gives you clarity, it frees you from carrying around extra weight, and it stops you from being fooled by your own fleeting emotions. Be detached from desire your whole life long. Now, this is a big one, and it's easy to misunderstand. He's not saying you should become some kind of cold, emotionless robot. No. It's about not letting your desires be your master. You want to be in control, not them. That's how you stay focused on your path instead of getting dragged off into the bushes by every little craving. And this idea of detachment just keeps going. Have no preferences in all things. What does that mean? It means you can adapt to anything. Be indifferent to where you live. Right, because your home, your peace, should be inside you. Don't seek goods or pleasure for its own sake. Again, it's all about freeing yourself up to focus on what actually matters, your purpose, instead of just collecting stuff or chasing highs. Okay, Section 3, Walking Your Path with Honor. So, you've done the inner work, you've detached from the external stuff, so what now? How do you actually live? This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the philosophy turns into action. Do not act following customary beliefs. This is a huge one. It's a command, really, to think for yourself. Musashi was not a fan of just blindly following the crowd or doing something because that's how it's always been done. No, he believed real wisdom comes from your own experience, your own understanding. You have to see the truth with your own eyes. And this leads to this idea of radical self-reliance. Step 1, respect the divine. Sure, but don't count on their help. And that leads directly to step 2, your strength and your faith, they have to come from you, from within. You can respect higher powers, but at the end of the day, Musashi is telling you that you are the one who has to save yourself. Do not fear death. This might be the most freeing principle in the entire list. Because think about it. The fear of death, it can paralyze you. It makes you cautious. It makes you timid. Musashi knew that. If you can truly accept that death is just a part of the deal, then you're free. You're free to live boldly, to act with real courage, because you're not constantly held back by that ultimate fear. And after all of that, we finally get to number 21, the final principle. This is the one rule that ties this entire philosophy together. It's the linchpin, the idea that makes everything else work. And it's so simple, but so powerful. Never stray from the way. That's it. It's absolute. And the way, what's that? It's the path that you build using all these other principles, that inner strength, that detachment, that honor. This final rule is a command to yourself. Once you find your path, you stay on it, no matter what. You just don't stray. So let's wrap this up. Conclusion, the way of walking alone. What does this all mean for us right now? What is this idea of walking alone really about? And this is so important to get right. The way of walking alone is not about being lonely. It's not about pushing everyone away. It's about being profoundly self-reliant. It's about having the strength to trust your own gut, to follow your own path with total integrity, without needing anyone else to approve of it. It's about being free from all that noise, all that distraction and fear. So, as we finish up here, I want to leave you with something to think about, a question for you to take with you. As you look at these 21 principles and you think about your own life, your own path, which one of these, which single principle challenges you the most?